Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Megan here, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to use a resistant band. This is a loop band, but if you have the one that doesn't have a loop, it's just one long band, that works totally fine. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be sitting down on our bottoms, and we're going to place the band on the bottom of our feet. And we're just going to extend both legs out, and we're going to sit tall on our sit bones. So really pull back onto this band, really reaching the crown of the head long. And then just from here, we're just going to do some roll down, just warming up the spine. So grabbing onto that band, pulling back and finding that C curve. And just rolling down, and then tucking the chin, and then using that band to pull you all the way up, reaching towards your toes, and then stacking the spine. So we're just going to do a few of these. So we're just going to roll down, find that C curve, tuck the chin, use the band to pull you up, over towards your toes, reaching long, and then stacking that spine. So we're just keep going, just a couple more. Take your time here. We're really just warming up the body, getting the blood flowing. Moving the spine, and last one, rolling down, and then reaching up over our toes, and stack the spine. Great. So now we're going to take one foot out. So I'm going to take my left foot out, and I'm going to have my right foot, and I'm going to come on down onto my back. And I'm going to keep my band around my foot, and I'm going to have it on my right hand. And from here, I'm going to bring my right foot up to tabletop, and just like the reformer with feet and straps, we're just going to do a nice bend and stretch. So I'm really kicking through my heel, reaching my leg long, and really resisting that coming back to tabletop, using that band. Controlled in your core. So we're not rotating side to side, we're staying nice and centered. Good, taking your time out and in. You want to keep your foot a little above your knee. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one, keep it out long, and now we're just going to reach our leg up straight towards the ceiling and down. So straight leg lower and lift. So we're really stretching out the back of those legs, back of those hamstrings. Good. Really pull into this band. So really pulling your leg back, getting that nice stretch for 4, 3, 2, last one, keep it up. And now we're just going to do leg circles, single leg circles. So using that band, pulling back, and try to get full rotation of that ball and socket of the hip joint. And remember here, try to just move from the hip. We're not rolling all over our mat. Everything tries to stay as steady as possible. Lifting up onto that pelvic floor for 2. And 1. Let's reverse the direction, other side. Good. So same thing, we're just reversing the direction. So now I'm bringing my foot in towards the center of my body for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hold on to that band, and then let's go ahead and just roll on up until we're high on our sit bones. I'm just going to move back a little. Good, so we have the same thing. We still have the band on our right foot, and we're still working into this right side of our body. I'm going to sit tall on my sit bones, and I still have my right hand into the band. Now I'm going to bring my left foot to, bend my left leg, and place my foot flat, just so I can keep my balance here. And from here, we're going to go into a high elbow row. So we're going to pull back and in. So you can see that my arm's coming up to a high elbow, so almost at shoulder height, and then back down. But remember, I'm not pulling my shoulder into my ear, I'm pulling it down. So really pulling that scapula blade all the way down. So keep your shoulder out of your ear, and that will help you really focus into that shoulder girdle. And then resist that band coming in. So we're really working that back of the shoulder, working our posterior chain for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're gonna stay there. We're just gonna switch our hand position. So now my palm comes under, and my palm is gonna come up to the ceiling. We're gonna do the same motion, but now we're just gonna go into a low elbow. So I'm gonna pull it back and down. So now we're really hitting our lats. Same thing, I'm not rotating, I'm keeping my hips squared, and I'm just getting that nice pull. And I'm resisting that band coming in. And I'm keeping my shoulder out of my ear for 3, 2, and 1. Same thing. Now let's add a twist. So as you twist, rotate towards that right side, look behind that right shoulder, and back. So we're really rotating at our waistline, keeping our hips square to the wall in front of us. We're really trying to get into those obliques too. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good. So let's go ahead and do the whole leg series on the left side now. So I'm going to take my band off and I'm going to place it on my left foot and hold it onto my right hand. So if you're using just a band, a straight band, that's not a loop band, just wrap it around and hold both sides into your left palm. Same with your right side. And from here, let's go ahead and find our C curve. I'm just going to scoot forward a little, and we're going to roll all the way down. And then we're just going to bring your left leg to tabletop, and we're just going to go into that bend and stretch. So I'm kicking through my heel. I'm resisting that band as it comes in. So I'm really putting pressure into my heel, coming in as much as I put pressure into it, pushing out. So I have full control. The band's not doing the work, I'm doing the work. And remember, keeping the pelvic floor lifted, keeping the hips steady. You're just pushing through that heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, keep it up, and now you're going to do straight leg lower and lift. So really pull back onto that band so you get that nice stretch in the back of that leg. And keeping those hips steady, we're not rolling, so core is on for 4, 3, 2, and last one, bring it up, and let's just do leg circles. So I'm gonna circle my leg out first, all the way around. So I'm getting full motion of the hip joint, moving that ball and socket. So you can make these as big or small as your hips allow you to do. But what really helps here is pulling back onto this resistant band. So it really helps you get a nice stretch and motion. For 2, and 1, now let's circle the other way. And be mindful here again, we're not rolling our hips all over this mat. We're keeping them nice and square to the ceiling in front above us. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hold on to that and then find your C curve as we roll all the way up onto our sit bone. I'm just going to sit back just a little so I'm more in frame. And then, same thing, keeping the strap around our left foot, bringing our right foot in, bending the knee, putting the foot flat. I have my palm facing me for this first set, for those high elbow rows. So I'm just going to pull back and down. So my elbow comes up high, my arm comes up to shoulder level. and I'm keeping my shoulders out of my ears. I'm really pulling this shoulder blade down. I'm not hiking my shoulder in my ear. So be mindful of how we're moving that shoulder girdle in and out. Control it in the core. And resist that band coming in. So really feel the back working hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So same thing here. We're just going to switch their palm down. Our palm's going to face up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do the same motion, but now the arm's going to come back. So the elbow is down facing the floor. So pulling back and in. So now it's a low elbow row with a different palm position. So really hitting our lats here. And then resisting that band as it comes in. Don't let that band bring you in as fast. And pulling that shoulder away from your ear. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's add that rotation now. So rotating towards that left side as you pull it and back in. So same thing with the arm. We're just rotating from the waistline. So we're looking back towards that left shoulder and then coming back to center. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good, guys. So now we can take this band off. And I'm actually going to put my back toward you guys so you can see how my back's going to work in this next series. So to get started, we're going to place the band now right above our elbows. So you want it like this. And if you are using those long bands that aren't a loop band, now's the time to tie a knot around it. So I would tie a smaller knot so you can make it about this length to put around our elbows. And from here, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to have my back towards you guys. And we're going to go into open elbow. So as they're here, my arms are going to stay up at shoulder level. So shoulder level is right here. It's not down here. It's right there. And palms face in. And now you're going to pull your shoulders as if they're coming closer towards each other. You want to keep your hands in your peripheral vision your entire time. And then back. Pull. Think about pulling the shoulder blades down and closer to each other. Really trying to close that gap between each other and then back. I'm not pinching them. I'm just pulling them down and making the distance a little less between them and then back. And I'm keeping my hands up at shoulder level and my hands stay in my peripheral vision the entire time. So really take your time here and find that sweet spot. Nice strong core, sitting up nice and tall for 5. Sorry, my nose itched. 4, 3, 2, last one. Pulse it out. Those little pulses back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Keep it out and just pulse your shoulders up. Keep the resistance on that band for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Shake it off, but keep your band around your arms for now. Just quick little shake off. And then from here, we're gonna now, if your band rolls up, it's pretty normal. Mine does the same. Pain in the butt, but what can you do? Perfect. From here, now our arms are gonna come up overhead. If I can just get this guy to, now they're overhead. And now I'm going to keep them straight overhead, and now I'm going to put tension in that band. So you can see this is normal, and now it's stretched out. From there, I'm just going to pull my right arm down and my left arm. So starting position and then down. So I'm just going back and forth, pulling into the lats, and then releasing back to center. Good. This might be a little bit easier, I was thinking, if we just hold on to the band like this. You don't have to worry about it sliding down our arms here. So it might be easier to hold it. Same thing, the starting position's overhead, and we just pull down and up. And remember, we're pulling the shoulder blade away from our ear and resisting that band coming back up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in and shake it off. Whew. Good job, guys. And now from here, let's go ahead and put our band around our knees. So now we're going to start with our band just above our knees, just to get into this next position. And let's come on to all fours. So we're on all fours, bands at our knees. So this next position here, now that our band's on our knees, I'm going to start with my right leg being my working leg. So I'm going to take the band and I'm going to place it right under my left knee, just so it holds that band in place. And I'm going to take the other side of the band and I'm going to stretch it over the bottom of my right foot. And make sure your knee's inside the band. You'll see why. From here, we're going to come into all fours. Make sure it's around your knee down here, and it has a pretty good grip, so you don't want that band to slap you in the face. And you want it around your heel. So make sure it's like in the center of your foot, in that nice little groove there. And from here, we're just going to kick that foot up and down. Really flex the foot. Think about bringing your heel to the ceiling to stamp that ceiling and down. Control it in the core. And try to keep your body weight centered. You're not putting all your weight into that kneeling left knee. Good. And with this, it kind of keeps your knees kind of narrow towards each other. You don't want your right knee to fall out towards that right side. So really lift up, find that sweet spot in the glute. Good job, guys. Stay strong. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, keep the heel up high and just pulse it up. Really kick through that heel, stamp that foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it on in. Good, stay there. You're just gonna reposition your band around the top of your knees. Still back on all fours. Now you want your hips about hip distance apart, so there's a little tension on that band. And we're still working into this right side. So now we're just going to do fire hydrant, so lifting that right knee up and down. Up, squeeze, find that sweet spot, and down. So really hold it up there for a minute and really feel that hip abductor. Fire up and then lower. So these are slow and controlled movements here. They're not fast at all. Lift up on that core for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Good job, guys. Last exercise, kneeling on this side. So we're going to remove our band, and we're still working on this right side. And now I'm going to place the band on my right foot. And I'm still going to find on all fours. So it's just on my right foot wrapped around, and I'm going to keep my right hand here. So now we're going to do a little bicep work. So make sure your hips are underneath your knees are under your hips. Your left arm is out strong and just bending in and out. So try to keep your elbow glued towards your side. And you're just bending from that elbow joint, back and in, extending. Really finding that tricep engagement. Push back into that right foot so you get full range of motion here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew. Good job. So we're still gonna work into this right side, almost done, and then we'll take everything onto that left side. So let's go ahead and find our resistant band right above our knees. And let's lay onto our left side. So I'm gonna be on my left side because I still wanna work into this right leg. So depending what side you're on, this is fine. So make sure your elbow's right under your shoulder. You push through this left arm. You're not sagging into it. And make sure, find a nice tabletop position with your legs, nice 90 degrees. We're gonna keep the heels glued and we're gonna go into some clams here. So just lifting and lowering this top leg. So try to think about keeping your hips stacked on top of each other. I'm not rolling out into this right side. So I wanna keep them stacked and square towards the camera. So hold this for a second. Really find that sweet spot and then slowly control as you bring it back home. So again, these are really slow and controlled movements here, nothing fast. You really want to find that muscle, that sweet spot, and really engage in it. So it's the outer thigh, outer glute, or hip abductors. Good. Let's go for 5. Push through this shoulder. Don't sink into it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now release your ankles, bringing your legs straight up on top of your bottom leg. And now we're going to go into kind of like an open book. So it's just up and down. But before this one, I find what works for me, kind of moving this right leg back a little. So it's not fully on top of this bottom leg. Pull it back, like as if you're pulling your foot back towards that back wall. And then open and close. So this helped me engage into that sweet spot a little bit better, especially using this band. So whatever works for you, depending also the tension on your band you're using. This band's probably about medium tension. If you have a tighter one, you can probably pull your legs a little bit closer to each other. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one here, guys. Now you're going to extend that leg out long. You're still going to keep this bottom leg up. At tabletop, and now we're just going to go into lateral lifts with that leg. So up and down. So really think about slow and controlled movement, bringing that leg up as high as you can so you're getting that resistance on the band, and then lowering down. So you want to keep that tension right in this area. So we're getting really nice sculpted upper legs, thighs. Push through this left arm, don't sag into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Whew, good job. Let's come on up, and we're going to do everything that we just did on this left side. Okay, so let's go ahead, and now we're going to put the band around our knees again. Just kind of starting position, coming onto all fours, and we're going to start with this nice little donkey kick. So I'm going to place the band under my right knee now, one side, and I'm going to pull the band and stretch it over the bottom of my left foot. And you want to make sure that these are pretty secure in underneath. And bring your knee inside your band. On all fours, make sure your knee's right under your hip. Flex that foot, and you're just going to kick up and down. So really flex that foot as if you're stamping it on that ceiling. Control it in the core. Draw your core closer to your spine. And down. And you really want to keep your knees narrow, so closest to each other and towards the center of your body. Don't let that left knee fall out. And press through those arms. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, keep it up and just pulse that heel up. Stamp that ceiling. Find that sweet spot in that glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Good. And then from here, just go ahead and take that off. We're going to place it above our knees. We're going to go ahead and spread the legs so they're about hip distance apart, so you have the tension on the bands, and we're still in that on all fours. And now we're just going to open that left leg up towards the side. So that nice lateral lift, working into those hip abductors. Really slow and controlled here. So resist that band coming in. And keep your weight centered. Try not to keep your weight all the way into that right side. Draw your tummy towards your spine. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Good, guys. Last one here on all fours. So let's remove the band. And we're just gonna place it. I'm actually gonna turn around so you guys can see this side of me. So it's still my left side. Gonna place it onto the bottom of my left foot. Having my arm down. Make sure my knees are right under my hips. I'm not crunched in. And we're gonna go into those nice biceps. So I'm just pulling it in and out. So you can see that I'm keeping my elbow narrow towards my body, and I'm just bending at that elbow joint in and out. Keeping that nice flat back. Ooh, so we definitely have a stronger side. Two bodies, our right and left. This is my left side, not so strong. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Whew, good job. So let's go ahead and place the band around our knees one more time and work into this left side. So I'm going to stay onto my right side, so my right forearm's down. Remember, my elbow's right under my shoulders, and I'm pushing through this arm. I'm not sinking into it. I'm going to bring both legs to tabletop here, so my band's right above my knees, and my knees are going into clamps, so my heels are going to stay glued together. So I'm just going to open and close. My hips stay stacked. My left hip isn't opening up like this when we open that leg. It's staying stacked. So think about keeping your hips square towards the camera. And really finding that sweet spot, outer thigh, outer glute, so right here. Working into those hip abductors. These are one of my favorite exercises. Any exercise working the hip abductors, I love it. I really love to feel that burn. This gives you really nice shaped, sculpted legs, butt, everything. Good, guys. Remember, it's very slow and controlled. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in. Now we're going to lift that leg up. So unglue the heels, and I'm going to push my heel back just a little, just so I can keep more tension on this band when I lower and lift. So it's just straight up and down. So like I said before, depending how much tension your band is, you can take these where you feels comfortable for you. But because this is about a medium, it's a little bit longer, so I have to kind of find that space between my knees to get full tension on my hip abductor. So let's go for 5, 4, they're starting to burn up, so they're working. 3, 2, and 1. Good, last exercise here. Extend that left leg out, so it's long and strong. The bottom leg, my right leg, is still at a tabletop position. And now I'm gonna lower and lift my leg. So lateral lifts with this left leg. So I'm lifting till I find that sweet spot where that tension hits really good, and then lowering. So I have full control. The band isn't lowering my leg. It's just giving it resistance. So it's really making these exercises more challenging than it would be without it. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it on in. And come on up. So, all right, guys, last exercise here. Let's just kill it with some ab work, and then we are done. So we're gonna keep the band around our knees, so right above our knees, and we're gonna come on down onto our backs. So around our knees and onto our backs. Bring your legs to tabletop, and you wanna find a diamond position with your legs. So you wanna bring your heels and your toes kissing. So that just gives tension on these bands the entire time. I'm gonna keep my hands behind my head because I'm gonna stay in flexion. If this is too much, you can keep your head down. But if you're with me, let's keep our head up and our legs stay up, keeping nice tension, and we're just gonna lower 1 foot at a time. So just lowering and tapping our toes, still controlling it in the core, but also we're keeping our knees spread away from each other, so we're keeping that tension on that band. So a lot of muscles working here. So really focus on your breath, in through the nose, out through that pursed lip. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay there. Now you're gonna dip both toes down and up. Down and up. Still controlling it in that core, keeping your knees out towards the sides of the room. Our toes and heels are still kissing. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, now we can place our head down. We're gonna come up for a crunch, bringing our knees in and out and down. So now we're just kind of doing a little butterfly motion with our knees as we come up for that nice ab crunch. But our heels and toes are still kissing. Good job, guys. Stay strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Last one here, guys. We're going to extend the legs out, open, close, and bend. So a little coordination here. If you have to put your head down, go ahead. But we're just going to bring them out, open, close. So you want to make your legs parallel now. So both feet are out long. Oops, and in. If your band falls down, no worries. Just quick fix. Out and in. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, bend your knees, hug them, and roll on down. Whew, take a quick little breather. And let's slowly kind of roll on up. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed that workout using the resistant band. Like I said, you can use a loop band or you can use the band that doesn't have a loop. It's just one long band. Just go ahead and tie it into a knot when we're using those exercises around the knees or the arms. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Every Tuesday and Thursday you can look forward to a new mat Pilates class, and then in between we'll do reformer, and I've had some requests for some bar, so I'll add some of those into the mix. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.